Demolition Derby is coming to the Crew 2. When, where, how, what? I don't know. But because you clicked on this video, we're going to be talking about the trailer we just saw. If you haven't seen it, I'll be playing it now. Doesn't it look great? I've been missing playing in the Crew 2 as it's pretty obvious for a lot of people there wasn't much to do post-launch, and this Demolition Derby has been dropped out of nowhere. It looks similar to what the name of the free update that was coming out. I'm interested to see how this is all going to pan out. Is this a separate expansion? Is this a free update? They did mention in the game that before the game launch that every single 3 months is going to be a major update to the game, and when this major update happens they want to add a new discipline. I'm guessing the discipline they're going to be adding in this update is the Demo Derby. Stock cars, what would you call them? There's a few things I would like to kind of go over with the trailer. I'm watching it once again along with you here. So it's more of a teaser. We're getting slow motions of going over what it was. Originally I thought this was snow, but it's not. It's kind of like sparking coming from it. Obviously there is a lot of kind of damage and stuff going on involved in this trailer. These vehicles are definitely not normal vehicles that we've currently got access to in the game. It's a different kind of track, it would seem. This damage is kind of sparking is because these things have been absolutely smashed to bits. You can see there's an actual kind of damage model. The tire has gone on that vehicle there. Bit of collision, all the bends and all the stuff flying off, and there's the little intro kind of bit there. So honestly, other than that, there isn't much more about it. We know that we're going to get some more information tomorrow, but I think the main thing I want to talk about was, is this going to be a free update? I spoke in the past about possibly there being a paid DLC and them kind of invigorating the game that way. And obviously the update is a different name, but they've kind of got the same thing, the same Demolition. I don't know. Have they changed the name of the update? Is it called Demolition Derby now? I don't know. They say we're going to get more information tomorrow, and I guess we're probably going to get some more throughout the week. I'm really excited to see exactly what they have in store for us. Now, I'm very excited about Demolition Derby. I'm also excited about the fact that I'm hoping that this is got, the trailer was called The Aftermath. I'm guessing I was having the aftermath of what's being released. This is kind of the first bigger update, I imagine, because I don't know. We got a trailer stuff for Gator Rush, but I almost feel like they probably know at this point that people need to kind of re-push into this game. We've kind of been wanting a lot more stuff. This looks like, obviously, a different discipline completely. In my head, it would probably be a mix between the off-road people and the professional kind of racing area. If it was in the professional racing area, that would be super sweet. Or maybe have both. Maybe it's in both. I think that would pretty cool kind of storyline to throw in. But I hope that this update adds a lot of other things. I've spoken in the past about possibly having a race editor added to the game, the possibility of, I don't know, just more events for the classes that we play, or even is this going to introduce a summit style thing that's going to keep rotating events, and that's what the professional racing kind of DLC is going to be. Is it going to be professional racing updates, as it were, and it basically keep inviting us to have new events to keep playing through that they're going to create? That kind of, there's a whole bunch of things I could keep speculating on, but obviously I want to know you guys' thoughts, because a lot of people will say to me that, you know, Theo, look, the Crew 2, there's not been much to do. I installed the game. I solved the game. Whatever. I would love to know what would be enough to bring you back. I personally adore the way the game plays, and I'm obviously going to play this DLC, but I'm hoping, because Gator Rush was great. Obviously, hovercraft's not particularly my thing. This is a type of car, type of vehicle. I'm much more interested in this Demolition Derby. Again, since when was the last time there was a Demolition Derby game like this? I don't know. I hope that there's more to the update than there was with Gator Rush. With Gator Rush, we got like 1 or 2 events per different class that weren't the hovercrafts, and then after that we'd finished the new races, there was no really progression storyline behind them. That was it. It was just kind of done, and then you were back to doing a couple more events for each class, and then there was nothing else to do. I hope that this one adds a new mechanic. I know it's already adding it in the fact that it's a whole different type of game mode. It's going to be in different locations, which is perfect for America in every single way. But it's adding a damage model, which to me sounds like a pretty sweet idea. I'm hoping that possibly this damage model can play into other areas in the game. For example, if they're adding PvP in the update, obviously. So what would be interesting to me is having this as a PvP mode, and also just having a full-on all-out bash. Just everyone running. Remember on the old Demo Derby games where you would just start I don't know what it's called because I have no idea about the sport, but it's freaking cool, and everybody just runs and smash into each other. And again, think of what we could create from these things. If the damage model works across multiple cars, if it doesn't, even if it's just these, we could have police chases where you can get taken out by the police. It would appear that from what we saw, surely these vehicles can be destroyed. They have surely some kind of health system. It seems like this could potentially be a more aggressive type of racing that opposed to what we've seen before, where you can actually be knocked out of the race or knocked out the event entirely. But as I said, it also works properly well. Maybe this class of vehicle, if the PvP were to be made up, and even custom races, people can set this class of vehicle and know that if they potentially get attacked by different types of vehicle, then they could possibly be put out of the race. You know, that makes sense to me. There's a whole bunch of things that I'm hoping from this DLC, but for the most part, obviously I'm very excited. I really hope they add more of a reason for me to keep coming back and playing the game. In the Crew 1, we had faction missions. Faction missions kept me going for such a long time, especially the longer events. I love to jump on with my friends and play those longer events. I would like to see some faction missions. I don't want to repeat too much stuff because I've spoken about this before in my previous video. So if you want to see that video, it's this video right here. You can check it out in the description. The video basically goes over what I would like to see them do to the game to kind of solve things. But this video is going to be more about, obviously, what I think they're going to do in this update to solve the issues. In the race HQ, there was mentions of the PvP bench. There's like the PvP area in there. So maybe that's how we're going to register for the PvP. That's how we're going to start the PvP in each individual area. Are they going to split up the PvP massively? Is it going to be like the launch of the Crew, where it's different regions of the USA? Like, I don't know how this is going to all come together, but we do get some snippets, and this video excites me because of the fact that now we're getting confirmation. It's like, now this update is coming. Get ready. I'm ready. I want to play this update. Please, please, please. Is this going to be a free or paid update? I imagine it's going to be a free update overall. I mean, in my head, that's what I'm thinking. Potentially, some of the cars are going to be part of the car pass. So there's going to be different vehicles that come out a little bit earlier for those that own the car pass. Because if you don't remember, the car pass gives you free cars just a week later. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out. Are they going to have some, you know, are we going to get some exclusive cars? Are they going to be demolition cars that we get? What I would like to see, because obviously the problem is, I don't think these are going to be licensed vehicles. When it comes to those type of games, the licensees, the manufacturers, they're not as lenient as they used to be in the past. These are probably going to be vehicles that are made up by Ivory Tower, just like the hovercrafts, that kind of thing, which I personally don't mind because it does mean that you can get this level of destructibility that you couldn't get on some of the other licensed vehicles. But what would be really, really cool is if they managed to get any possible manufacturers that would be a bit more lenient on this kind of thing. Would be super sweet. I would also like to see the Hop 1 and the Ivory Tower created vehicles possibly get a damage deformation model added into this. That would be super cool. The Hop 1 would be an amazing one for that, and the Buggy as well. They seem like they would stand out compared to the normal stock cars that you would get, the normal demolition cars. So it'd give you a bit more of a mix-up, a bit more of a difference between the gameplay and stuff. But again, what I also kind of hope is, like, I like the idea that they're going to be adding the demolition cars and stuff, but I hope in my head they're going to add these, and then the DLC cars will be, or the DLC vehicles, should I say, would more likely be hypercars or sports cars that maybe even like lower end DLC tuner cars, for example, that aren't in the game yet. With the last updates, what they actually did is they had some of the hovercrafts released as the DLC, I believe, the DLC car pass, which, you know, I get the idea, but they're still free. But in my head, we've paid for the car pass, so the paying for the car pass to me means that we should get extra content added on. Like, that's how the Skyline kind of frustrated me a little bit. But anyway, this is just going to be a ramble video if I keep carrying on. Let me know down in the comments what you want to see from this update. What does this update need to impress you? Are you excited for the Demo Derby? It's been such a long time since I've played a proper Demo Derby game. I tried to play it in Need for Speed Payback with some cars, and it didn't really end out that well because there's no damage physics. But I think of anything, like any model of gameplay wise, of all of them, to me, Demolition Derby makes sense as a step. Like, what else gameplay-wise would you add to a racing game? And I think that they're taking it a step forward over the competition, especially when it comes to PvP, if we can do stock car off-road races that aren't in a stock car track sort of thing, and we can just absolutely bully each other. Kind of like be aggressive racing, where you could literally have your car properly damage out, and it visually bend in half, and your wheels pop, and it's going to be super cool. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited to jump back into the crew. You guys know that I love the crew too. They say they're going to be releasing more information tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be able to cover that. I'm not too sure. We'll find out. But if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to smash like, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, peace.